Before Santa Monica was covered with concrete, traffic and pricey real estate, Cristyne Lawson remembers a town where open fields met the shore and a tight-knit community of Black Americans lived, worked and worshipped just blocks from the beach. Growing up here was just a joy. Everybody knew everybody, said Lawson, 85, who lives near the Ocean Park area house where she was raised. There were lots of vacant lots and empty space, people used to grow corn on some of it, and you could wander all over. When I was 8 or 9, if I was walking down Main Street around 4 p.m., someone was sure to come out and say, "Your Aunt Mamie's looking for you." That's what everyone called my grandmother, because if someone saw me out at that time they knew I should be home. I can't imagine that happening today. Not everyone has such fond memories, however, even in Lawson's family, partly because the Black community wasn't happening here in Santa Monica, she said. They didn't think it was the place to be. That's because African Americans were largely discouraged from opening businesses that catered to Black clientele in Santa Monica, said historian Alison Rose Jefferson, author of Living the California Dream, African American Leisure Sites During the Jim Crow Era. African Americans began moving to California in the late 1800s to escape the overt racism in the South and find better opportunities, Jefferson said. But discrimination still stymied Santa Monica's Black community, and eventually erased many of its neighborhoods in the name of progress and redevelopment, such as the Belmar Triangle, where the city's Civic Center, auditorium and new historic Belmar Park stand today. The street named Belmar Place doesn't even exist anymore. It ran north and south between Pico Boulevard and Main Street and is now covered by Santa Monica's South Civic Center area, and many of the buildings where African Americans lived and worked are gone, such as the Black-owned business La Bonita. A lodge and bathhouse, La Bonita provided rooms, a restaurant, a tennis court, hot and cold showers, and even a complete line of bathing suits and accessories to its clientele between 1914 and the early 1930s, Jefferson said, when such accommodations were not readily available to Black travelers. California's civil rights laws made it illegal to discriminate at public accommodations, but those laws were poorly enforced, Jefferson said. As in Los Angeles, African Americans in Santa Monica learned by experience that they were not welcome at many hotels, restaurants, theaters and other establishments. La Bonita was sometimes listed in the Negro Motorist Green Book, which from 1936 to 1963 named restaurants, hotels, gas stations and other businesses in the U.S. that welcomed African American travelers, Jefferson said. Nearby, Belmar Place also housed the Sunset Lodge for the African American Elks Club.